See, are you a baby? Are you a baby? I'm telling you some of the things that I've seen based on my experience in this life. You understand? You cannot dismiss the dark arts.
This is Crossfire and my name is Jidechi. Here we talk about some of the biggest topics happening in the world of football. And on today's show, it's going to be all about the UEFA Champions League Final. Yes, Manchester City would be taking on Inter Milan. The very first time these two sides will be taking on themselves. And I have the two guys you always love to see to do this with me today. On my left-hand side is Tunde Young. Tunde, how are you doing?
I was born ready.
Born ready.
Next time you ask me that question, we'll start with a punch on this show. Just say, Tunde, how ready are you?
Okay. And on my right-hand side, I have Mr. Tosin. Tosin, how are you doing?
Let's get this show on the road.
All right, Champions League Final, who wins it? That's the first question for the day. Young?
Look, in cases like you have to use precedent. Who wins the Champions League Final? Which of the two teams have never won? You cannot expect someone that has never done something to do it. I hope you follow my drift. Man City have only played Champions League Final once in their history. They lost it to the mighty Chelsea, and in that game, they were favourites going into that game. I know what Tosin is going to say. Tosin is going to say, they have MIlan, they scored 700 million goals. They have Pep Guardiola, they play death by 2,000 million passes. I do not care. When you get to games like the Champions League Final, history, pedigree matters more than current form. It will not matter. It will not matter that City played the best football. It will not really matter because at the end of the day, it's about one game, do or die. Inter Milan, in terms of history, they've won this competition 3 times. They won it twice in the 60s, and they won it as early as 2010. Do you remember they won it in 2010? They faced a Pep Guardiola side in the semi-final, and they defeated them with the most aram football of all time. So if they can do it to the same manager, how many years ago now? 10 years ago, 13 years ago, I beg your pardon. Imagine how much more aram, how much more wicked Simone Inzaghi. I expect the most evil low block of all time. Okay. Play a 8-1-1 formation, and I think Inter Milan will do it.
Hold it there. Tosin, the same manager, the same team he faced, and they are going to take on Inter Milan. What do you think Manchester City's chances are in this final?
Well, that's a stupid question, but let's just go to let's just go to the point. Let me just give you your usual education, both of you on this show. You look at the Champions League Final. You look at Manchester City. You talk about presidency. Until you win, you don't win a Champions League until you win it. So when you understand like my chronicle of knowledge about the Champions League and the history of football, you look at a team like Chelsea. They went to the Champions League Final in 2008. You understand? And they lost to Manchester United. But that experience helped them. 4 years later, they returned to the Champions League Final in 2012. And what happened? They were victorious. Now you look at this Manchester City team. You understand? Just 2 years ago, they went to the Champions League Final. And they lost to Chelsea. You understand? That Chelsea that used to struggle is now considered an European giant. You understand? But when they got there, I don't know about other people, but when they went to the Champions League Final, I bet on Chelsea. And I'm not even a Chelsea fan. And I made myself a lot of money that day. You understand? So I knew that experience, they were lacking it. So they lost in that Champions League Final, and now they are going back to the Champions League Final with that experience. With majority, they are not even going back 4 years after. They are going back 2 years after, with majority of the same squad, you understand? And without a shadow of a doubt, Champions League Finals are always tough. Nothing is going to be a walkover. Inter Milan is a decent side, but they will get the job done.
Okay. Tunde Young, we are talking about experience here. In terms of the two managers, Manchester City's manager is the one you would say is more experienced in terms of European football at this level. Do you think that would hamper Inter Milan's chance in any way?
No, first of all, let me first talk about the fact that I don't know if Tosin have Alzheimer's, but I don't know how you will ask who is his entire speech was about Chelsea. I don't know why. I don't know how Chelsea came into this. If anybody that tuned in at the wrong time might have thought that Chelsea is playing Champions League Final. Meanwhile, Chelsea got knocked out in quarter final. Relax, you will receive your education that you clearly missed the primary and secondary school. I will give it to you here. So, talking about the both managers, yes, of course, Pep Guardiola is the more accomplished of both managers. He's already won the Champions League, twice with FC Barcelona. Although he has not won it since then. He has not won the Champions League in the last decade or thereabouts. So, but still, you cannot take it away from him. But you look at someone like Simone Inzaghi. Simone Inzaghi is someone that has an history of adversity, unlike Pep Guardiola, where everywhere got soft, everywhere got marama for him to perform. You look at Inzaghi, he has won the league, he has won two Copa titles this season. He won Copa Italia and the Super Copa. So people talk about Man City going for a treble. He is also on course for a treble of his own. Nobody's talking about that. So he needs the Champions League to actually complete that. He's someone that has the history and DNA of winning. He knows how to win, especially in finals. So I am fully locked in and backing Simone Inzaghi here. So I think he will have too much for Pep Guardiola, who is not used to winning in this era, in this decade.
I was going to ask Tosin that question. Talking about winning, Pep Guardiola have not won this tournament since he left Barcelona. What does that mean for Manchester City in this final?
You know, I'm not even going to address the Chelsea because this guy has a way of just making me give him my encyclopedia of knowledge instead of him actually paying money to get these resources. You understand? But that's, let me look. You look at the part of Manchester City to this final. They took out a very, very difficult Real Madrid side, who are the reigning and defending Champions League title holders, you understand? In the semi-finals, blasted them away. You understand? And when you talk about, like, why has Pep Guardiola not won? We as Africans, we know the history of Africa. And we know the impact of Yaya Toure and Cote d'Ivoire in terms of the world of the mystic arts. You understand? And the inclusion of this African mystic and our, we know our African gods. You understand? So we know. See, are you a baby? Are you a baby? I'm telling you some of the things that I've seen based on my experience in this life. You understand? You cannot dismiss the dark arts when it comes to football. We know the stories of people seeing the ball and it turns to stone. We know people seeing the ball and it turns to lion. So
who saw the ball and it turned to lion?
That's a different topic for another day. But I'm telling you that we know the impact of Yaya Toure. And when Yaya Toure came out, he said that as long as he's satisfied with the punishment that Guardiola has endured over the last 12 years. You understand? And we know, and now we see the results here. You understand? So that is what it is. You understand? We will not like just denigrate the impact of the African spiritual society in what happened to Pep Guardiola.
Okay, guys, that's where we're going to leave it for this show. According to Tosin, Yaya Toure has given Manchester City his blessing, so it means Pep Guardiola is leading them to the Champions League final. And according to Tunde, Simone Inzaghi is very good at adversities. This is his title. Both teams are going for the treble. But who is it going to be? Just drop your comments in the comment section. Let's know what you think and who would win this one.